Come on in the room if you woke. If you got some coffee in your hand, specifically coffee, you my team member. So come on in. Now, those of y'all that got tea, I'm not Hing on you. As you come in, put an emoji in the chat. I'm liking the background is black bars. Anytime I'm rhyming, it's right on time. Right on time. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Is that Seymour B-U-T-T-S? He don't skip a beat. I'm trying to tell you. I don't see no thumbs up. I don't see no emoji. It's black. It's all black, everything. Everything black. Did y'all catch that? Listen, what I seen on my timeline this morning was funny. But I ain't trying to get nothing started. But um, you ever just seen someone acting and you could tell they acting? You know, there's a such thing as celebrity hookups, like industry stuff. You know, when they put someone with somebody, and you can tell, right? Some people don't need to they just need to be by themselves because it's not giving. It's not giving relationship. Mm-mm. You know, you ever just seen a musician try to act and they can't act? Y'all ever seen that? I seen it a few times, and I just be like, bless they hard, bless they hard. They're trying to cross over, and it's not working, but it's all right. It's all right. Some people can't clock it. I can. How y'all doing? I seen something yesterday. I'm not finna, look at this. What is this? Why is you looking over here? Um, excuse me, why? I'm not finna talk about it because when I seen it, I said, what is this? Where is this? That's what I did say. My stuff be looking funny, y'all. Like if you were to hold my device, you'd be saying, what? Why is it this stuff like this? And some angels do get picked on. They do. I'm one of them. I'm not talking about from other angels. I'm talking about from the man upstairs. It's irritating because I'm channeling y'all. That's why my voice is going like this. Even if I try to clear my throat, it's not gonna happen. This is who the man upstairs wants y'all to hear this morning. Because when he talks to you, you respond. This is not Melchizedek. He's not going to say who he is because then you all will think that he is friendly and start trying to call on him to have conversations. And that's not what this is about. Somebody is aware as of late that I'm definitely on a device. If I were to crack open my laptop, y'all would see that the majority of my videos were done mobily. These are things that you don't see when you use a mobile. The system is aware of it though. Does it put you in a different genre? I don't believe so, because this is why they made it accessible. They made it like this so people could put that M on their stuff through a mobile. Being a content creator has its up and downs. When you have a device like a mobile, you can go live no matter where you're at. But then where does it go? Where does it go? The reason why I have my comment section shut off on the majority of my videos, y'all gotta understand that I went and closed a lot of these comment sections after I decided that I didn't want it open. I had to manually close them, so it took a while. And it is because I didn't want to hear the negativity. You know how it's just too much sometimes? I didn't want to hear it. Grand Rising, Victorious T. We had planes coming in. I wonder what's happening over here. Currently, I'm being blocked in by a Mack truck. You know, that could be a good thing. Anybody have any good news? I promise nothing will happen behind it if you share it. Is there any questions? I'm aware that I have a group of individuals that share every live, no matter what it is, and I appreciate all of you. Some of you came to epiphanies. You reached a point in your mind where you understand that everything is not about you per se, but it is affecting you some kind of way. And when you do that, you share it with me. I see it. I don't want you to feel any kind of way that I'm not responding, because if I were to respond to every message, I would be responding 24 hours a day. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate that. I wanted to come on, you know, when I'm being guided not to say something to its entirety, it's for a reason. So I'm not going to elaborate about what I seen, because I'm sure somebody else is. Oh, I did see that the infamous video with Nas X, that was a whole key right there. That was super duper funny. I looked, I said, what is this? Everybody was waiting to see a tire track, right? Somebody gonna put one on eventually. Well, that's a good thing. I appreciate you as well. Sometimes you need a guideline, a blueprint on your life to know why you're different, to understand that it's okay to be different, and to live in your truth. That's how I see it. I see every individual living in their truth. Now, the masses of men, archangels, don't see things the way I see it. And that's perfectly fine with them, and it's perfectly fine with me. If you were to have a conversation with an archangel, depending on whom they are, if they converse with you, they would tell you everything that they know is wrong with you. Everything. According to their era. Because for them, it was different. They're having a sidebar conversation that I am not allowed to hear because they treat me like a baby. They think I'm not supposed to hear certain things, see certain things. And if the man upstairs shows me a vision, which he does a lot, they get upset because they think I'm seeing what they're seeing, and that's not the case. I get treated like a baby. I am a cherub, and it is Cupid that is represented as a cherub. A lot of people did not realize that until I pointed it out. That comes from research. That has nothing to do with having conversations with archangels. A lot of times I'll know things and they'll say, how does she know that? And they get upset because they treat me like a baby. So, speaking of Amen, who's heading out to the big house today? Y'all ever heard that saying, them prayers don't go past the ceiling? I remember when I first heard that. I laughed so hard. I've used it a handful of times throughout my life. And every time I used it, I meant it. It wasn't a joke. But if y'all head on out to the big house, make sure y'all tell the men upstairs I said, what's up? What's up? Y'all not giving me, y'all going to the big house. Y'all doing something else this morning. Going to get you some coffee, tea, and crumpets. Going to get you some crumpets. You ever had a crumpet? I've had a scone. Why are they so hard? Why are they so hard? Why are they so crumbly? Is that how the desserts are in the UK? Because they hard, crumbly. You gotta microwave them. You know what I'm saying? I tried to get into different type of desserts, but somebody chicken hawking. Somebody gonna see. Y'all don't know nothing about no chicken hawking. Let me be quiet. I am real. People that happen to catch my live, they say Ether is funny. Ether is just being who she is. And I am what they say, perfectly imperfect. This is how the man upstairs views most of us, the majority. So we're not gonna go there because then my voice gonna get deeper, and then I'm not gonna be smiling. So I'm not gonna go into the specifics because I want to have a good morning. A good morning. It's fitting. I want to have a good morning. That's the first time I ever seen that as fitting. You know what I'm talking about? When you enter into that conscious community, that conscious gate, and you start breaking these words down and you say, yeah, that's right. Like, we're not going to get into manifestation because manifestation has become really popular, right? And I just be sitting there looking like they don't even know that stuff is not even working for them. They're not even where it's going to work. You ever just figure out you somewhere where something just not working? I'm not talking about your device. I'm talking about your manifestation tactics. When you get up and you say, I'm going to get a raise, I'm going to get a raise, I'm going to get a raise, and you repeat it 30 times, and then you say, that's good enough. Yeah. The man upstairs is going to give me what I want. That's what I'm talking about. That I'm going to get a raise is the one right there. I'm going to get a paid vacation. That's the 2. The 3 is no, you ain't. You get something else. But they don't be, oh, y'all want to talk about the red door. Interesting enough, it's a red Mack truck behind me. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy said, I'm not parking my stuff out there. I'm going to keep my ride in the lot with the lizards. There's a black man. He said, I ain't put my stuff out there. I have a real life seen a lot lizard, y'all. I seen a lot lizard on Friday. It scared the bejeebies out of me. I said, what the? That sucker came running up out the bush. I said, that thing moved fast. I don't like stuff that be crawling. If it's not a dog or a cat, I get to looking like, you ever seen a pelican? Like, up close? Like, you ever seen the way they look at you? What's worse? Horses. Y'all ever been in the vicinity of a horse and look in a horse's eyes? I don't advise you to look in the horse's eyes. People that ride horses and walk up to them and pet them is strange to me because it's a kinlosi. A horse is not spiritual. If you look into a horse's eyes and they notice it, they'll attack you. Those that own horses know that. I'm not petting no horse. That's strange to me. You know, if a horse kick you, you gone. If they get you in the right spot. Like, pelicans, hawks, any type of bird. Seen a bat up close? It's like they fly out of a different dimension when they come. It's the weirdest thing. But the lot lizard had me on one. That was funny. Well, let's see. I'm reading the comments, y'all. I always knew that I was different from a lot of people because I don't like horses. One specifically, I don't want to be around a horse because the energy of a horse is I can pick up the aggression from a horse. It don't matter if you raised that horse from a baby. I can feel it. I know that a horse will attack you. but others probably don't. Yeah, if you grew up in the South, more than likely you've had a lot of acquaintances and animal, human relationships with horses, but you're not a cherub, and because you see things different. It's not even the fact that the fear, because a dog. You ever look into a Rottweiler's eyes? I advise you not to do that. Uh, when I talked with one of the archangels, they said the Rottweiler got their name honestly. Where I'm from, they say they are HE double hockey stick hounds. Okay? Those are some of the most ruthless dogs. I am a pit lover. Okay? These type of animals, you're talking about the Konakos. For them, the archangels, those are the original pits. Those are not a new breed. That's how they look. The ones we call pit bulls are the ones that are bred. When I got that information, I said, because when you see one, you say, ooh, wee. That's the one that's gonna make you cross the street. You don't want to walk past one of them, and you're not right. The Rottweilers are the ones that can pick up hemoglobin. And when you're around them and you may be on your administration, that's not a good thing. So for those of you that feel some kind of way when you're around Rottweilers, that's how I feel when I'm around horses, all of them. I've been around ponies, the jacks, uh, donkeys and stuff like that. It's a similar, but because they're bred, is not as hostile as a horse. I seen some bred ones on the gram. I said, what is this? They were bred with donkeys or something. They're called long haired, which is not an original horse. Original horses don't have long hair and short legs. Those are bred dogs. Horses. They're making jokes. They will make you say some things, and they don't do it as often to me, but they'll do it to one of y'all. It's somebody that can sense when something changes, that is in the chat all the time. They will make you tell on you in the darndest places. You'll be sitting there thinking you about to tell a tall tale, and just the whole truth come out like verbal diarrhea. I tell the truth anyway, so when they say things like that in the midst of a conversation, in the beginning it would tick me off, but now I just say whatever. You know, yeah, I'm not a horse lover, and I'm not afraid to, sad to say it. There's an archangel that is a woman that is not afraid of horses, and it's because of her class, you know. So, what you're talking about is Geronimo's wife. Geronimo's wife, and that's how I want to uh, address it, because her name is popular already. She would come to me in visions, and it was because of the connection that I have with Geronimo. She wanted to know why. When she figured out that we were relatives, she stopped. He did. He did not made an appearance. He showed up in the I Am Choctaw video. So for those of you that are doubtful that it was Geronimo, it definitely was. And that was the last video before I took off for a month. I took off for an entire month. I remember that. When you go through certain types of ascensions, your lineage will pop up. Those that you all consider guardians and guiding angels also. But what you'll start to notice is you've always had them around even if you couldn't hear them. They give you nudges. They tell you where to find things, how to go about certain things. And because some of y'all you didn't have the Hasakaniyo on you as hard as we did. And so that meant it was easier for you to grasp the information. Now, it's an Ikisifa. You won't ever be able to touch Izza. Ever. And so, when they do stuff like that, y'all, it is because they already know who's going to come in. And so, I want to have a good morning. So I want to socialize. And they understand that. I have some readings coming out over this week that are going to shock some people. Because I know that there's someone always ready to push that button falsely, I always guard my words. People didn't believe that they had to cover up the cards either until things started happening to them that they've been doing to me. And it is because observers see it, and because they don't have that M next to their name, they start doing things like telling. It means that the beautiful artwork that we all pay for gets covered up. All of my videos say not made for kids, but it's understandable, right? Because the shock of seeing that, so I cover him up. It took me a long time to cover up a lot of these decks, but I did it because I have a message. And in this phase of my life, this is how I get my income. Speaking of income, those of you that are getting these readings Monday or throughout the rest of the week, be mindful that you are going to have to wait a little duration. So it's best for you to get them now, to get in now. For those of you that want to contribute to a viewer donated pool, the CA is PEKA 69. PEKA 69. Some of you, you're being guided to do so. Because that's the way the man upstairs wants it. Now, when he talks to you and gives you hints on how to get more money, and then he talks to you in the same tone, in the same voice, and says you need to donate. Those of you that act like he's not talking to you, or you act like you don't hear him, or it's not him, y'all are the ones that need to worry. And it is because he feels like you're using him. And when you start using the man upstairs, then falsely saying he's things like the Manasi, because you don't want to share the wealth. That means you get put somewhere. If y'all were to hear what I hear, you would say, how does she put up with that? That's what you would say. You would say, does she have to hear that every day? I wouldn't be able to sleep. Some of you, you've gotten close and then you said, I don't want to be here. And when you donated, you were released because you were already informed that you needed to do so. That's angel business. Now, when I go into saying that you need to put the question in the chat because you are attempting to connect with me telepathically, which for you, they don't like because you are the one that uses a pendulum and you ask questions while you believe it's asleep. Y'all, some of y'all don't realize the pendulum, what they were doing. They're deactivated. These ones, when they ascended, the pendulums were deactivated. And so it is because they do things like that. You know, when I informed everyone, if you have a pendulum, this is after I showed you how to hold it properly when you're doing a reading for someone else. Some of you remember. When I informed you not to use that pendulum to ask personal questions about other people, especially celebrities and stars and things of that sort, you all decided that you were going to do it anyway. And I take offense to that because you are learning things from me, and then when I'm telling you the proper protocol, you don't want to do it. Now, some of you may say, I should have never taught you. If I were teaching you, you wouldn't be doing it. I showed you. You specifically would never be one of my initiates because now you understand that I am Easter, a being, a pantheon. And so what that means is when you feel like I am no more, which is a long, long, long time, I'll probably be an incarnate somewhere else. And when I go to say that one is mine, that means something. That means you are protected through and through, and you won't ever be one of mine. I said that my members are protected. I don't care what they participated in the past. Because if they're still there, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Some of you, you went through the paradigm shift with me because I was the one pulling you out of these voids, portals, because that's the way the man upstairs wanted it to be. And when you heard someone say, ether, and then you heard someone else say, she is the one, then you heard someone else say, that is who we need to do it to, you now understand that you heard several different conversations, not one. And because you failed the test, that meant that you were put somewhere else because some of you felt like it was a personal A on me and you decided that I would become your S vice. Now, I'm not going to say anything else about that. When I come on here, it is to talk to my people. When I get ready to have a universe daughter, y'all gonna know. That is it.